Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about the top 3 resources to learn digital marketing. Now, this is going to be the top 3 resources regardless of whether or not you want to work as a freelancer, an agency owner, or an employee at a startup or an established company. These are going to run the gamut. So if you stick around till the end of this video, you'll have the best resources for your learning regardless of what your goal is in digital marketing. So the first resource I want to talk about, it's one that I've been using quite a bit in my experience running an agency and working as an employee. It's called AdSkills Pro-League. So if you check out AdSkills.com, you can go and look at all the different courses they have. Now, AdSkills focuses on the tactical individual contributor skills that you need to run paid media campaigns. So what does that mean? This means the campaigns that you see running on the internet on platforms like Facebook and Google through their advertising platforms. So Facebook ads, Google ads, and a number of other smaller platforms. Snapchat, Pinterest, Reddit, they all have ads that you can run for any businesses that you want. Now, in addition to these, there's also some private networks for running display advertising online. And the difficult thing about learning these platforms is that each one has specific sets of rules that you need to follow. So if you don't have someone who's an expert in each one of these platforms, it's difficult to learn them to any high degree of proficiency. So what I like about AdSkills is it's one of the only platforms that teaches you many, if not all, of the major ad platforms that you're gonna need if you're running paid media campaigns, either for your own company or for clients. Now, AdSkills really focuses on the tactical skills. So this is gonna be best for a few different types of people. The first type of person is someone who's at an established company and needs to learn how to use these ad channels quickly. That's gonna be the one type of person I'd recommend AdSkills Pro-League for. The next one is gonna be someone who's working at a digital marketing agency and needs to learn a new channel quickly. And then the last person is going to be someone for their own business or company that needs to learn any one of these specific channels to a high degree of proficiency really quickly. And this is going to be a little bit different from some of the other programs that I'm going to get to later. Now, the final thing I'll say about AdSkills is that they have an option to purchase any of these channel programs that teach you how to run ads on these channels independently. But what I recommend is actually just to go ahead and purchase their Pro League program, which is a combined program that allows you to have access to all the courses, all the channels, as well as their Pro League Slack. Now, this is super important because their Pro League Slack forum is what's gonna allow you to get mentoring from other people who are working in the industry, as well as the ability to get job offers. So if you're a brand new freelancer or someone just starting up an agency, this is gonna be really beneficial as it's gonna expose you to other experienced freelancers and agency owners, as well as potential job offers that come right in their community. Now, one caveat is that you're going to have to pass an exam. It's a final exam of sorts to get into the Pro League and be able to access some of those job offers. So if you want that benefit, you are gonna have to be ready to put in a little bit of studying. This isn't gonna be a huge commitment, but I would say that it's gonna require probably at least a few weeks for you to get prepared to take that exam. So not a big deal if you're already working in the industry, but if you're brand new, that's just something to keep in mind. So that's the first resource, great for people who need to learn specific channels and the individual contributor skills to be a media buyer at any level. So the next one is gonna be BellCurve. BellCurve is a growth marketing agency that's now turned into a training company. Formerly, they were known as BellCurve, which was their agency end that was helping some high growth startups out of Silicon Valley primarily to grow their companies quickly. BellCurve, their agency side, now transitioned into BellCurve, which is a training company that has programs to teach people who are trying to get into growth marketing and customer acquisition, everything about growth strategy and the tactics to set up an entire growth framework for a new company and then implement it. So BellCurve is a little bit different from most training products in that it doesn't focus entirely on the individual contributor tactical skills, and it also doesn't focus entirely on the high-level strategic skills. It actually blends them in kind of a systematic framework you can use to apply an entire growth strategy to a new company and actually go and implement that strategy with just what they teach you. Because of this, the fact that it's a framework that you can use for an end-to-end growth strategy, and then also it includes those tactics and individual contributor skills you need to implement that strategy, this is an extremely really detailed course that will take you quite a while to complete for anyone going into it. In fact, they offer what's called a self-serve version of this course, meaning you can pay month to month, as well as a deep dive into their course material that takes the form of a full-time class for a number of weeks. So there's really a ton of material in here to master, and I'd suggest this for a few different types of people. Now, number one, this is gonna be for someone who's running their own business and can't outsource any of the work to someone else, and they also can't hire all these positions in-house. If you need to learn everything to grow a company, I highly recommend going through BellCurve's growth training. This is also great for someone who's trying to hire an in-house team and they need to have someone to lead that team. So if you're making your first growth or marketing hire, or you're trying to train someone to be your head of growth, this is a great program to send them through so that they have everything they need to actually go and implement what you need for growth, as well as to manage other people who are doing some of those individual tasks and then understand the strategy for the whole team. Really great for that. Finally, this is great for someone who's trying to break in as a growth professional into a high growth startup, and they want to get hired at a startup to either do a growth marketing position or one of the individual contributor skills, such as media buying, being a paid acquisition expert, or doing someone to come in and help with conversion rate optimization. Now, this course focuses on a huge range of skills, but there are really 4 main ones that it focuses on. The first one is growth strategy, how to set up a growth strategy for a company from end to end, everything you need to help grow a product and get new users online. The next main skill that it focuses on, number 2, is media buying, and this is media buying across platforms. So again, it gets into how to set up campaigns on Google AdWords, YouTube, Google Search, Google Shopping, Facebook, Instagram, as well as a number of the other smaller platforms like Pinterest, Reddit, Snapchat, etc. So that's gonna be the second main skill. You're gonna have growth strategy and media buying. Next, you're gonna have tracking and analytics. So this is how you keep track of things like conversion rates and who's purchasing online, who's adding products to cart, who's initiating checkouts. You need to know how to set up that tracking plan and then be able to analyze it. So the third part is gonna be that tracking and analytics setup. And the fourth part of this course is gonna be conversion rate optimization. So this is everything you need to get higher conversion rates on your pages, higher click-through rates on your ads, and know how to test those things and actually see the results of those tests. You need to be able to do all 4 of those things, and BellCurve, their course, takes you through each one of those step by step. It's extremely systematic, which makes sense as all the founders of BellCurve were engineers prior to getting into customer acquisition. And it's gonna teach you everything in terms of systems and subsystems within those systems. So if you're someone that likes an organized, well laid out course that focuses on the systems involved in creating a customer acquisition plan, you're really gonna love BellCurve. Now, I would say the type of person that this is not for is if you're just trying to get your feet wet in the industry, this is your first course that you're taking, or you're unsure about which area of growth you're gonna get into. You may not be someone that needs to understand all of growth strategy, and you also may not want to learn all the technical aspects of implementing a growth strategy for all those 4 major areas I talked about, planning growth, doing customer acquisition and media buying, doing analytics and tracking, and then doing your conversion rate optimization. So the next course, the last one I'm gonna talk about, is Reforge. Reforge is a course for experienced growth practitioners or people who've already worked in some sort of high-level growth role. So this could be a head of growth or a product manager for growth that's managing an acquisition team, or it could be someone that's actually leading the company in an executive or general manager role. Reforge is not gonna be for someone that wants to do a individual contributor role, or you're just getting into the industry. This course is really for people who are already working at an established company or already have a more mature startup that's starting to implement things like an advanced analytics infrastructure, and you already have really good quality data that you can use to test different things like different types of campaigns, different pages, and start to see some of the results of those tests. I'll emphasize that Reforge is not going to be for anyone who's in, a brand new startup or is just starting to establish their analytics and marketing team and doesn't really have anything in place yet. This course is going to be really great if you're trying to advance your career and you're already an active marketer who's maybe out in industry at an established company, or you're at a company that's starting to really scale and grow their marketing team, and you need to understand the more advanced analysis behind growing a marketing team and implementing a rigorous testing plan within your organization. Now, one positive thing about Reforge, if you are at a point in your career where it makes sense to take it, is that you'll, like I mentioned, for people who are just getting in the industry for AdSkills, where you have this great network, Reforge has this amazing network if you're already in the industry and you're trying to expand your connections and learn more from other companies, have peers, in growth roles at other companies that you can learn from, and really just expand your network so that you can expand more into the, growth field as a growth professional. And it's really great for that. So just to wrap up, we talked about AdSkills, we talked about BellCurve, we talked about Reforge. I really believe that for 2019 going into 2020, these are the best top 3 resources that they kind of, run the gamut from learning individual contributor skills to learning high-level growth management skills. And there's a place, for you regardless of what you're trying to learn. So just to recap, if you're just getting in and you want to be an individual contributor, freelancer, agency owner, or you want to get your first job, I would highly recommend AdSkills if you're trying to learn that customer acquisition piece. If you want to learn how to do everything end to end and you're really making, you're going to go all in and you have a lot of time to study, I'd recommend getting BellCurve, as you're going to learn everything from growth strategy to the individual contributor skills in media buying, tracking and analytics, and conversion rate optimization. Finally, if you're already in this field or you're an executive who's just trying, interested in brushing up and learning new skills, Reforge is really gonna be great for advanced data analysis and learning how to manage growth teams. So really everything that you are doing to grow your marketing side of the organization after it's already well established. I'd say anyone that's gonna benefit from this is either already in a growth management role or is in an organization that already has growth managers managing the individual contributors. This is really what's going to lead to that benefit from doing the data analysis you need to make, more hiring decisions or resource allocation decisions for a marketing team. So very different focuses. So anyway, I really think those are the top resources for 2019 into 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit the like button. And as always, make sure to subscribe so you get notified anytime that I come out with a new video. Thank you for watching.